Submarines are ships that move beneath the surface of the water, generally used for military purposes and purposes. Most navies own and operate submarines, although the number and population varies from country to country. Apart from being used for military purposes, submarines are also used for marine and freshwater science and for duty at depths unsuitable for human divers. Germany has a submarine which is popularly known as a U-boat, which is a summary of the Unterseeboot, which was commissioned in World War I as a deadly weapons system for the opposing navy, especially in World War II, so it is known as a U-class. Apart from Germany, the country that is popular for using submarines as a main force of its navy is the Soviet Union or Russia. Another type of submarine is a diving bell. Even though submarines float easily, they are able to dive to the bottom of the ocean and remain in a position in the depths of the sea for months. The secret lies in the ship's unique double wall construction. Special watertight spaces or ballast tanks between the outer and inner walls can be filled with seawater, thereby increasing the overall weight and reducing the buoyancy. With a push of the propeller forward and a flat rudder pointing downward, the ship dived. The steel inner walls are able to withstand tremendous pressure at depths. Once in the water, the ship maintains its position with the help of ballast tanks along its keel. To rise to the surface, the submarine releases water from ballast tanks. Periscopes, radar, sonar and satellite networks are the main navigation tools for submarines. While floating on the surface, a submarine is said to be positively buoyant. The ballast tanks contained almost no water. While diving, the ship obtains negative buoyancy because the air in the ballast tank is released through the air valve to be replaced by water entering through the flood hole. To move at a steady depth, the submarine uses a balancing technique with what is called neutral buoyancy. In this technique, pressurized air is pumped into the ballast tank sufficiently, and the flood hole is left open. To rise to the surface, the pressurized air carried on the ship is pumped into the ballast tank, so that the water comes out. The most sophisticated submarines make their own fresh water from seawater. There are also air reserves produced by electrolysis, a process that releases oxygen from fresh water. When near the surface, the submarine can take in air and release exhaust gases through a closed snorkel that opens above the water surface. In addition to the periscope, radio antenna, and other masts, several snorkels protrude from the superstructure or conning tower. The air is monitored daily to ensure that oxygen levels are sufficient. Air is also channeled through a filter that removes all impurities. Exhaust gas exits through a separate pipe.